Hi, my name is Kaylen Foss, and this is going to be a video about getting to know me. So I had some people ask me some questions. This could be a little fun Q&A right here. I have all my questions written down on my little notepad right here. And before I get to the questions, I'll just give you guys a little bit of details about me. My name is Kaylen. I'm 21 years old. I was born and raised in Wichita, Kansas, and then I moved to Derby, Kansas in the 4th grade, and I've been here ever since, and it is great. So my family, I have 2 sisters, one older, one younger, and then all my brothers, I have 4. They're all older than me. I have 2 nieces from my oldest brother, and they are awesome. That's pretty much it besides all the questions that we're going to ask. So some of my favorite YouTubers. I never really watched YouTube until I met Blake, and then he likes YouTube a lot. So we like crime videos. So we have an Explore With Us channel. I love watching them, all their little camera, police footage and all that stuff, and them telling you the stories. There's Schlatt we watch, Ted, I think Ted Vision, I think's his channel. I don't know. But there's quite a few I watch. I mainly just watch what he watches because I enjoy almost everything he does. I had some questions about my wisdom teeth. It has been a week and a day. Today is Tuesday. I had it done last Monday. And this is how we're looking. The bruising still there, but it wasn't that bad. Someone asked, does the ivy leave a mark? So, as you can see, yes, they had to prick me a couple times. They originally went here and it didn't go into the vein, so they had to do it again here. So this was the second one where they put everything in, and it's not pretty, but yes, ivy does leave a mark. I think it really just depends on the person. A few more about the wisdom teeth removal. Is it scary being in the dental chair? I think it really just depends. I've never really had a bad experience at a doctor's office. My mom was a nurse, so I'm kind of used to that stuff. And when I was younger, I had to get blood taken quite often, and so needles don't really bother me. The wisdom teeth, they don't hurt. It's been a week, like I said. Just the bruising is a little sensitive if I push on it and whatnot. Okay, a few other questions not about wisdom teeth. What made me start my YouTube channel? So I originally started this YouTube channel for my business, actually, because I'm a real estate agent, and this is my 2nd year, and then next year in February will be the start of my 3rd year. So I mainly started it, like I said, for business, but also just to kind of post videos like this, get to know me, just seeing what I like to do. I post cooking videos, just videos about me every so often, and I like creating things, so creating foods, making foods, and I used to paint a lot. I don't paint as often now, but I do want to get back into painting. That is one of my hobbies, painting, drawing, coloring, stuff like that. All right, next question. What countries would I like to visit? I would probably say Italy, just because I'm big on food. I love all different kinds of food, so mainly there for just the views, the scenery, and all the amazing foods they have that apparently are way better here than here in the U.S. Another one would be Greece. I've heard food there is also really good, as well as all their views, the beaches and stuff. So, plus, Blake would probably like to visit there because they've got lots of history. He's big on history. And so I wouldn't mind going to either Italy or Greece. Those sound both really fun little trips to go on. My favorite clothing store. So my favorite clothing store, I don't really have a favorite. I mean, the one I go to is Ross. I go to Ross because, 1, it's cheaper clothes. I don't like buying super expensive stuff. 2, they have a huge selection of stuff. You know, they've got like personal care, dogs, cats, whatever. Like, they've got food there. I love dresses specifically. I buy most of my dresses from there. So I would say Ross is probably one of my top stores. Okay, question about real estate. My most challenging thing. For me, I would say what's most challenging is trying to stay consistent. Oh, not going to say trying. Staying consistent is very difficult because you don't really have someone there telling you like do this, do this, do this, do this. And unless you're on a team, which I'm on a team, and my team lead is actually my boyfriend's mom, and then his dad is also on the team. So you've got his mom, his dad, him, and then me. So it makes a pretty fun time when we're all together. We're all very close. But yeah, like I said, trying to stay on top of things is really, really difficult sometimes because I wake up, oh, I don't want to get up today. You don't really have to clock in or clock out. We don't have an office, we office from home. So that can be difficult sometimes, just not having that like third force kind of pushing you to do something. You don't show up to work, you get fired. This job, you kind of fire yourself almost by not doing what you need to do to succeed. How would my friends describe me? I'm actually in a real estate class right now, and so I did a post about this, so like a what do people think of when they think of me? And I got lots of answers. I got kind, sweet, professional, resilient, caring, strong-minded, confident, smart, compassionate, generous, fun, and hardworking. And I think those are all great examples. I love being kind to people. That is one of my favorite things. Being kind it's so easy to be kind, and more people should. But that's how people describe me. Sorry, I had to pause the video because I have my cat outside, my assistant, Miss Saki, and she doesn't run, but she likes to eat grass. So I had to go grab her real quick. And then hopping back into the questions. My biggest pet peeve. I have lots of little things that kind of bother me. It's not really like a pet peeve, but just I think being disorganized. I grew up being very disorganized in a very disorganized house and having stuff just clutter everywhere. I love being organized. I like my room being clean. I like my office being clean. Just everything having a place and being neat and not just kind of piled everywhere. Um, Favorite foods. I already touched on this topic a bit, but I don't really have a favorite. I love all kinds of food, Mexican, Italian, American, everything. But I really love cooking foods. I already said that too, but comfort foods, especially like soups. I've made the birria tacos. That is a very difficult, long process to do, but it's kind of ruined other tacos, birria for me. And I try the other one, and I'm like, oh, it's too this, too that, or it's not flavorful enough. But mine, I'm like, oh, I enjoy mine every single time I make it. But I love all kinds of foods. Um, Advice for someone else wanting to be a real estate agent. Um, you really have to know a lot of people. We always say we're the source for the source. So knowing other, we'll say vendors like window guys, carpet guys, lawn guys, all those different kinds of stuff, but also just knowing people like, hey, if I've got a small circle of people I know, I might not do a lot of business, but if I have a bigger circle, I know a lot more people, so it's easier to get to know more people because those people can introduce you to more people and newer people, but you also have to throw yourself out there and just pretty much hit the ground running. Just start and then don't stop. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. But I would also say maybe join a team. If you start out, start with a team because it's easy to have people help you and work with you to kind of hold your hand the first little bit so you know what you're doing. And then if you want to, you can stay with the team or you can choose to go solo or even start your own team later on. So all of those, there's lots of steps that go into it, but I think those are some main points about starting off. Kind of going back to my YouTube channel, this is goals. So my goals is I want it to be another platform where I can put myself out there so more people can get to know me. And like I said, just show off what I like to do. One thing I did a couple times in high school is I would do dressers. We had a couple extra dressers. So what I would do is I would strip them, sand them, repaint them, and I would like to do that again. Like I said, I need some more garage space before I do that again, just so I'm not having to. I'm not going to do it inside because all the chemicals and smells isn't great. But I want to be able to post videos like that on here too. My plans for the rest of 2025, I would like to do another little camping trip. I've done a couple camping trips this year. I like being outdoors and stuff. So maybe a camping trip, but mainly just going through my business and keeping stuff running. Me and Blake are doing a webinar starting in November, and to get more clients and kind of just do something new. We've seen other people do this and it's worked very well for them. So the end of this year is going to be, working on that webinar, changing it to, fit the time frame, how stuff is changing in real estate, and all those different kinds of things. Biggest achievement in life. So I had to think about this one for a little bit, I'm going to be honest. And it's mainly, my biggest achievement is just being able to be resilient. I've had lots of hardships in my life, and just being able to bounce back from those is one of my biggest achievements. And as you can see, I'm alive, I'm healthy, and I am thriving right now. So just being able to be resilient and then starting my own path, which was real estate, because I didn't really have a plan in high school of what I wanted to do. I was working as a waitress. That was my first job, and I worked at a car wash for about a year. Not the most fun job. I met some pretty fun people while I worked there, but like I said, starting my own path, being my true self, and just having fun with it. Okay, another question about wisdom teeth. How was the recovery? So it really wasn't that bad. The day of, I had it done early in the morning. I had some broth for lunch, and then for dinner, um, more liquids. And I did some research on it too to like help with getting feeling better faster. Just you have to eat soft foods. You can't have anything like crunchy, like sticky or chewy. Or I'm not saying chewy, but like candy is what I'm thinking chewy. But like I had lots of pasta and just liquids and not a lot of protein, which is why day 3 of my recovery was a nightmare. I woke up with a huge migraine, and I was like, I have not had protein. I haven't had water, because instead of drinking water, I was drinking foods like protein shakes and stuff. So trying to stay on that was not fun. It was a Thursday, and I stayed in bed until like 1 in the afternoon. But recovery was not bad, just besides not being able to eat certain things. And I even shouldn't still be eating. I've had some candy, which I love candy. I've got a pretty big sweet tooth, but trying to stay away from those has been the most difficult thing. All the different stuff. There's like a whole list of stuff you can't have. I mainly had applesauce, pudding, like I said, soup, and protein shakes. Or eggs too. I had eggs. That was like my only real source of protein. All right. Someone asked if I had any funny stories or videos for my anesthesia, which sadly I did not. I woke up and I had the whole bottom half of my face was numb and very, very swollen, but no funny videos, sadly. And was it fast when they put me to sleep? And some people take the option to not be put to sleep. I did, just because I wanted to fall asleep, wake up, and it'd be done. And that's exactly what I did. And it was very quick. They put the IV in, and then the doctor comes in with the medicine to help you sleep or put you to sleep. And he goes, yeah, you're going to taste like a little bit of a metallic taste, which I didn't taste it in my mouth. I tasted it like in my throat. And I went, oh, that's that is metallic-y. And like a couple seconds later, I don't remember anything after that. So yes, it was very quick. It was boom in, 5 seconds later I was out. All right. Someone asked, what color socks do I wear? I don't really have a specific color. I've got like gray socks with color on the tops and bottoms. Right now I'm wearing some fun socks because it's cold. They're sloths. So they're fuzzy warm socks to keep me warm because I'm outside this morning. But yeah, mainly like black and just not really colored much socks. These are like my only real fun pair of socks. Favorite subject in school. Like I said, I'm very crafty. I like to do stuff, make stuff. So like all of like the art classes, I took a paintbrush class, I did like a painting and drawing class, I did the pottery class, I even did a photography class, which was very fun. So yeah, mainly those artsy kind of things. Those were fun. How was I introduced to real estate? So, like I said, I work with my boyfriend and his parents. We're all real estate agents on the same team. And his mom originally started her real estate about over 15 years ago, I think now. But yeah, she originally started it and she did it. Then her husband was a chiropractor and then he switched to real estate as well. And then, of course, that's how I was introduced. Is I knew Blake, and his parents were agents. And then he was like, "Why don't we start real estate?" So Blake and I are real estate agents together, and his parents are real estate agents together, and we all work together. So it's a very fun little mix of stuff. What do I look for when making new friends? I like to look for people who are kind of similar to me, kind of artsy, crafty people. And they don't have to be that way, but just being creative, kind people, and like genuine, caring people. I like those people because I've had some not fun experiences with people and I don't like being around those people. And if I don't like being around someone, I'm not going to put myself around those people if I don't have to. Like, that's one thing about this job is I don't have to work with people I don't like, and people who don't like me don't have to work with me. So it makes for a very fun environment to be in. What type of music do I like? I don't really have anything I don't really like. Like my main ones, like country rock, and I love like 2000 to 2010 music. I love all that. So like some of my favorite bands, I've got 3 Days Grace, Fall Out Boy, some of the country ones I like, Alan Jackson, George Jones. Those are just the ones that are first coming to mind. Kind of a girl band, 5 Seconds of Summer, their early music, Panic at the Disco. And then one of my favorite songs right now is called Summer Nights by Siamese. I'll put a little picture right there. But that is one of my favorite songs right now. It's a very fun, upbeat song, and it just makes me happy. I like songs that make me happy. Do I play sports? I have never played sports. I used to play like soccer in recess in elementary school. That was the most of it. And then in high school, I was a football manager for 3 out of my 4 years, which was very fun. I got to go to state, and just being there around the coaches were awesome, and just getting to know all those different people was very fun. I don't really have a favorite sports team. I don't really watch sports. Um, like I said, I've never really been big on sports. Like, I still don't know the rules of football, and I was a manager for football for 3 years. So there's that. And of course, my last question. It's a question that everyone asks, not just even to me, which is, does pineapple belong on pizza? I'm going to say yes. I used to eat it all the time as a kid. I have a new favorite pizza, and I like black olives. I know, real big no. But like real basic pepperoni, black olives on pizza. That's it for me. But I like different kinds of pizza too, like supreme pizza. I like all the different kinds of stuff. I'm not real picky. I'll eat almost anything. So I guess that has been it for my get to know me. If you guys have more questions, go ahead and put that in the comments and I will answer those as I see them. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you stayed all the way through, and have a good day.